in your browsers. So you can open your tablet or your smartphone or even another window on your computer and just go to bidbox.xyz. Just type that right into your browser and it will take you to a screen that looks a lot like this. You will see welcome to Bidbox and you'll have an enter class. If you touch that, you'll be able to bid right along with us. It'll ask for your email. You don't have to put your email in, but if you do, you'll get a copy of this class sent right to your inbox after it's over. So why don't we get started? If there are any questions, folks, you're just going to want to type that right into the chat box, and I'll try to get to those as we go. We're going to do just a quick overview of the 2/1 system, and I want to show you guys the notes I'm about to show you are actually right on my site. And I'm just going to show you real quick how to access that. You're going to go to learnbridge.nyc and you will see this screen here. You're going to click on Bidbox, which is this tab right up here, or you can come down here and click this link as well, and it will take you to this page. And here is the OnLive class schedule. And right next to each of these lessons, where there's a library button, it will take you directly to a page or direct you to notes that will help you to kind of prepare for the lesson or kind of rehash what we did in the lesson afterwards. All you do is go to this page, you click on library, and it will bring you directly to a full lesson on 2/1 and one no trump forcing and anything else we might be covering in the live lessons. Mark, your question is, will this recorded? Yes, it will. It'll be available right afterwards on YouTube. It usually uploads probably like 5 or 10 minutes after the class is over. I, Sometimes it might be a little long at the beginning because we wait for everybody to join in, so I try to edit that out. But yeah, everything you're seeing here will be not only sent to you as far as the quiz, but the actual broadcast will be recorded and just posted right to my YouTube page. So let's jump in. We're going to talk about 2/1 in general, just the basics of the system and from both sides of the table. 2/1 is the most widely used system in North America, and for good reason. It actually makes things a lot easier for partnerships to find not only good games but slams because it establishes strength for our side immediately, which is actually a very important thing to have knowledge of, right? Especially for the beginning players. All of the beginning classes I teach now, I start with 2/1. We skip over standard because 2/1 is just easier to deal with, especially when we both have strong hands. So, what is 2/1? It is an agreement where when we naturally proceed to the 2 level as responder, we agree, both of us, that this is a game forcing bid. So it should be showing 13 or more points opposite an opening bid, and it's natural. Nothing about 2/1 is artificial, which makes it easy to convert if you're used to playing standard and easy to learn because it's just logical, right? So we're going to be bidding suits we have. It's just some of our bids are going to be stronger than others. And anytime we have a 1 level opening bid followed by a 2 level bid by responder, that's not a jump. This will be game forcing in our system. And let's take a look at all of the 2/1 bids that will ever exist. This is the screen that will show you there are only 6 sequences really that are going to be game forcing, and it's because it's never a jump. Right? 2/1 just has to be a natural progression. So almost always, if you look at the first 5 examples on this screen here, you can see that one of us has opened a major suit and their partner has bid a new suit at the 2 level. And you can see the only time this ever exists, 2/1 as a game forcing bid over a minor, is this auction all the way to the right. This would be showing a game forcing hand in clubs because it's a natural progression to the 2 level, 1 diamond, 2 clubs. So this is only used after our side has opened a suit at the 1 level. It is never a jump, right? You can notice all of these bids here are just normal progressions to the 2 level. We're not jumping in any of these cases. Jump would be something different, either conventional or usually in the modern game very weak jump shifts if you're not playing anything conventional. And this is never used in competition. Right? You can see in all of these examples, our right hand opponent is passed. right? So in these sequences, the two level bids that you see on the bottom of those tables are all game forcing. Okay, and the other one that is probably going to be obvious after I say it is this is never a game forcing bid if you've already passed, right? So if you're a passed hand and partner opens a major and let's say you bid two diamonds, that's not a game forcing bid because partner already knows, hey, you did not have enough points to open the bidding, so you can't have that. And here's the natural part of the system. The natural part, as you can see on the bottom of the screen here, is that we're always going to have the suit that we bid. And when we're bidding a minor, which is usually the case when we're making a 2/1 call, we're going to show 4+ cards in the suit that we're bidding. The only time we need to have 5+ is by partnership agreement if you're, playing the expert level, but normally here it's just the two heart bid. One spade, two hearts is always 5+ hearts. It's easier to navigate this way, and we'll see some examples of that as we start bidding some of these hands. But here, that's the only time it's ever five or more cards in the suit when we're bidding our major at the two level. The rest of the time, it's just 4+ cards in the suit that we bid. And the most important thing when we play it as game forcing, it's 13 plus total points. And total points, I don't just mean high card points, I mean playing points, right? You might, in fact, in some of these sequences, have a fit in partner's major, right? So you can certainly game force by making your 2/1 bid first and then come back and support partner's major later. That's how we would handle that. Before I proceed here, are there any questions just about the general 2/1 agreements that we see here and the auctions that I want you to be familiar with? I'll give you a few seconds to type any of your questions in, and if I don't see anything, I will move on. All right, let's do this. So, if we look at this hand on the right, when we are playing a standard system, it's much harder to deal with this hand because when partner opens one spade, which we see North opens one spade and we bid two hearts. If this is not a game forcing bid, this hand becomes very difficult to describe. But when we make the two heart bid a game forcing bid, which means both of us know we cannot pass until we reach a game, now the South player here has a lot more time to describe this really long and strong heart suit. Right? So we get to game force with our two heart bid, and now we get to bid a very comfortable three hearts to show our partner that we have extra length in that suit to try to find a fit. So this is the win for 2/1 game forcing. If two hearts was not a game forcing bid, after partner's three club bid, we would be guessing, which game to bid, and we might get to the wrong one. When 2/1 is game forcing, we get to slow down and we get to describe our hands as completely as we can because this will give us a much better way to get to games and slams if we have more time to talk about it. And I'm going to skip over this slide here and I'm going to go to one of the most important parts of playing 2/1. It's called the principle of fast arrival. And what this means is when we are in a game forcing auction, which if you look at the hand on the right, that two club bid was a game forcing bid. So we have agreed that we are in a forcing to game auction. So once this bid is made, we know neither of us can pass. So we can use this to describe different strengths of hands. If I've made a game forcing bid and then I proceed very slowly to a game, I'm going to be showing a hand with extra values. However, if I make a game forcing bid and I jump to game very quickly, now I'm showing, hey, I have a hand that is certainly enough to play game, but not much more than that. All right, so the faster we get to our game, the worse our hand is. And this might be, counterintuitive to a lot of people that are not familiar with the system. But if you think about the logic behind it, if we both have good hands, which in 2/1 we get to find out right away, we are going to benefit from extra space. Meaning, if we both have really good hands and we jump the game very quickly, we just skipped over a lot of levels of bidding that we could use to find out more information and be more precise in our bidding. And that's really what 2/1 helps with. So on this hand to the right that we're looking at, This would be an easy 4 heart bid after this auction, right? Partner opened a heart. We bid 2 clubs. We have 13 points, 14 if you count your doubleton, because we do have a hard fit. But it's really a minimum, right? We've shown a game forcing hand, and now when partner rebids 2 hearts, jumping to 4 hearts would just say, hey, partner, you knew I had 13 plus. I have very little, if anything, more than that. And all we're trying to communicate is the range of our hands. If we went more slowly, more deliberately to this game, because remember, we're committed to game after 2 clubs, this would be a time where we would be showing extra stuff. So this is the backbone of any game forcing auction. It's this fast arrival. So if you remember it, the faster you go, the fewer you have, right? So faster, fewer. And the slower you go, the more stuff you have. Slow is stuff, right? If I slow down, I have a lot I want to talk about, or at least some desire to talk further about the level we want to play at. Very helpful when we're trying to play slam. So let's take a couple peeks here. On the right, our partner has opened a heart, and we've bid 2 diamonds, and they raised to 3 diamonds. What do we think would be a reasonable bid here? The bid box isn't up yet, so don't worry. Don't look at your phone just yet. I just want you to think about what a good bid might be, and if you want to type it into the chat, that's cool. So here is that principle of fast arrival at play. At this moment, we knew we had a hard fit right when partner opened the bidding, and we've already made our game forcing bid, right? So the 2 diamond bid made sure we're going to get the game. Now that we both know that, the 3 heart bid with this hand is actually the best bid you can make, because we don't just have 13 points, right? We actually have a much stronger hand, and the fact that partner raised diamonds is really strong for this hand, right? So 3 hearts is essentially telling partner, I'm slowing down because I have more stuff to talk about, and I want to conserve this bidding room so that we can maybe have a discussion about playing higher than just game. And that's the best part of 2 over 1. You've already established that you're playing game at the 2 level, right? So the fact that both of you have that knowledge makes it so much easier to just make descriptive bids and make these bids that kind of differentiate the range of points that you have in your hand. So I want to show one last slide here, and this is the hand that we just saw. We showed some extra values by bidding 3 hearts, and our partners simply raised the game. And take a look at that North hand. North knows they're in a game forcing auction, so they can't pass, but this is their absolute minimum, maybe a little touch above minimum. And that's what they're communicating by just making that quick bid to 4 hearts. All right, so in these situations, guys, and if you want to take a look, these notes are right where I showed you at the beginning, right at learnbridge.nyc, and in that library tab, you will be able to see these notes, print them out, take them with you, do whatever you want with them, but get a good idea of this principle of fast arrival. And I think the hands we're about to see on Bidbox are going to give you a really good taste of this particular part of the system. So what I want you to do now, guys, is get out whatever device you want to use for the bid box. You can use your phone, you can use your tablet, you can use another browser in your window, and you're just going to type in bidbox.xyz into your browser. All right. The new feature here, it's going to ask you for your email, and I'm going to put my email in here. So after we get done with all these quiz questions, guys, you'll get an email with the copy of this quiz, right? So as soon as you get that email, you'll actually be able to go in and run through this quiz as many times as you possibly want, right? So it's good practice, a lot of chances to make decisions, and also to improve on the score you might get tonight. So I'm going to start the class right now. And again, for those of you that are just watching on YouTube here and you want to see and make your choices, you're going to go to bidbox.xyz in your browser, and you will have what you're looking at here on your device. So let's get started here. Our partner opened a spade, And for the purposes of this class and hopefully moving forward with all you guys, we're going to force you to play 2 over 1 as game forcing. Okay, so when our partner opens a spade, what do we do with this hand? And it's your bid. And again, bidbox.xyz for those of you that are not logged in yet. I see a bunch of people on the Bidbox app, so that's good. And just a public service announcement for those people that are watching these videos after the fact. If the video says replay, you will not be seeing anything on Bidbox. So if you're not here for the live lesson, you won't get to play along with the video, but hopefully you still get something out of it by watching it. Okay, guys, the correct bid is 2 hearts. You're absolutely going to bid 2 hearts with that hand. I apologize. I think I went I pressed 2 buttons too quickly, so we didn't get to see the quick results on that one. But 2 hearts is for sure our first bid with this hand. And here's what we know: we have enough for game, right? Partner open the bidding. We have 15 high card points. We also know we have a spade fit, right? But there's no way to force to game and show only 3 spades except for this, right? This is kind of our game forcing 3 card spade raise. So we're going to start with 2 hearts, and our partner now responds 2 spades. And remember, for those of you that bid anything other than 2 hearts, this is a natural system. So almost always, the bid that makes the most sense is going to be the correct bid, right? So when you have a 5 card heart suit, you're going to want to show that. And that's the beauty of the system. It's very natural, and it allows us the opportunity to discuss our hands more thoroughly at lower levels. And I want you to remember that part of the lesson at the end there, the principle of fast arrival. We know as soon as that 2 heart bid hits the table that we're in a game force. Both of us know that, right? So now is the opportunity to not only show a fit, which we can do by bidding spades, but we have 2 choices. We can bid at the 3 level, or we can jump to 4 spades. This hand is more than just a normal game forcing hand, right? 13 is our barrier for the game force. We actually have not only 15, 16 total points, we have a reasonable 5 card side suit, and it looks like our partner has a 6 card spade suit. So this is certainly worth exploring a little bit further. And we're not making any control bids or anything. We're simply setting the trump suit as spades, and we're doing it at a lower level than game. Right? So this 3 spade bid that we should be making on this hand is the bid that's going to show this hand perfectly. I have some extra stuff, and I want to tell you that at a lower level so that we can have time to discuss. And after you do that, your partner raises to 4 spades, and now it is your choice again. So for those of you joining, bidbox.xyz in your browser will get you right to the page you're looking at and allow you to make your bids as we go along. Okay, folks, pass is the correct bid. And we want to think about what we showed and also what our partner showed. This is a hand that we've already told partner about. We said we had extra values, and their four spade bid is their way of showing a minimum. Right? Remember, we're only at the three spade level, so we have the entire four level to discuss more if we want to go further, right? In fact, anything at this moment would be a control showing bid. It would show an ace or a void, first or second round control, depending on what you agree with your partner. But here, partner did none of those things. Partner just bid four spades, which is their way of saying, hey, I have a minimum. So you've already shown extras and partner has no interest. That's the beauty of this 2/1 agreement, right? We got to show some extra stuff and our partner had no interest in talking any further. So we get to pass with these hands, right? In other auctions where we kind of had to jump the game in a standard system, we might have bid 4-0 with a hand like this because we just didn't know any better, right? We have 15 and we didn't really talk about partner's range. Here, partner's range is pretty well dialed in, right? We've made a game forcing bid and shown extra values, and they've just proceeded very quickly to the four spade level. Okay. Donna, the question you have here is what happens when opponents interfere? When opponents interfere between the opening bid and our response, there is no game forcing 2/1. Right? So if it goes a spade past two, sorry, a spade two clubs, and I bid two hearts, that's not game forcing. It's still going to show five or more hearts in a good hand, right? And it'll be one round forcing, but not game forcing. However, if we've completed a 2/1 auction, it's still game forcing. So let's say my partner opens a spade, I bid two hearts, and my left hand opponent bids three clubs. We're still in a game force, okay? So if it's before we get to that point, it is certainly off, but after, it's all systems go. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So partner has opened one spade. We are now in the responder seat again. What do we bid in response to one spade? And once again, bidbox.xyz in your browsers if you want to play along at home. So when partner opens one spade, we do know we have enough for game. And the best bid to show that here is two clubs. I'm glad that none of you fell into the trap and tried to bid two hearts. Uh, Anytime we bid two of a minor over one of a major, it shows four or more. When we bid two hearts over one spade, though, it shows five or more hearts. Right, so here we make the correct bid of two clubs, which establishes a game force, right? And we certainly know we have game, but this is another one of those hands that's an in-between range, right? It's 16. So we want to take our time and see what partner has to say next. Let's see what that is. So partner now bids two hearts. Your call. They opened a spade, we bid two clubs, and partner bid two hearts. Okay, this is a nice moment because we get to find our heart fit right now. And now the question becomes, do we bid game in hearts or do we proceed more deliberately to that game? And the answer is we certainly slow down. We bid three hearts because we certainly have extra values. Those of you that wanted to go back to spades, when you start with a 2/1 response and then you go back to partner's major, unless they've rebid it, it's going to always show three card support. Okay, and the best part about this auction is partner actually bid their four card suit, which established an even better fit for us in hearts. All right, so we are absolutely going to stick to the heart suit. But three hearts is that bid that says, hey, I have interest in slowing down. I have extra values. Tell me more about your hand if you're interested. And once again, partner bids game and hearts. They bid four hearts, and it is your call again. Yeah, pass is definitely our best choice here, right? And everybody got this right. No one bit and tried to bid any more with this hand. It's only 16, and you've already shown extras. And once again, that bid of four hearts by partner said, "Hey, I have no interest, even knowing that you have extra stuff." Right? So it's the best part. Really, I can't keep saying it enough. Is that you get this nice flexibility to determine, hey, if we both had 16, that's usually a very tough spot to find out where we belong. Now it's a little easier because we get more cooperative bidding in these auctions. So let's see what's happening next. Partner opens a heart, and it's our call. One heart passed to us. Okay, guys, we forgot maybe our system, or maybe we don't play this, but the best bid is Jacoby 2 no Trump. This is obviously a trick question that was thrown in there at you guys. Don't forget that we have other ways to make game forcing bids, and this is one of the more common conventional agreements. One of a major 2 no Trump shows a game forcing hand with four or more cards in support. So the rule here is essentially we're never going to make a 2/1 bid if we have four card support and a game forcing hand. We're always going to go through whatever our major suit raise is, right? We should have a forcing major suit raise. For most people, it's Jacoby 2 no. Make sure you make that bid no matter what, right? Because now we get to establish both a fit and a game force, right? A little even better than 2/1. All right. Now your partner has opened a heart and you have this hand. Your call. Okay, so just because we can make a game forcing bid doesn't mean we should right away. And the main thing I want you guys to think about here is you shouldn't be misrepresenting the shape of your hand to game force. And in this auction, partners opened one heart, and we have five spades and four clubs. Right? If it were the other way around, you might bid two clubs. I mean, you might also just bid one spade. But here, when you have your longest suit, and especially when it's a major, show that right away. So there's no need to bid two clubs. We'll try to make a game forcing bid later, right? We will still have some tools to work with. But when we start with two clubs in these situations, we've accomplished one of our goals, but now we've distorted the shape of our hand, right? And we're never going to find a good spade fit when we have one, especially when partner has exactly three spades, right? We're going to be in a tough spot there. So don't misrepresent your shape. It's okay to make just a one level bid, even with very strong hands, right? Don't worry about game forcing right away because remember, a new suit by responder is forcing for one round anyway. We're always going to have another chance to bid. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So after we bid a spade, our partner bids two diamonds. And now it is your call. So here we did not game force right away, but we've gotten an auction that we might be able to get some information across with our next bid. Let's see what that is. And once again, guys, bidbox.xyz in your browsers will get you to the screen you're looking at, and you'll be able to make your bids right along with us. Lisa, yeah, thanks for joining us. Yes, this will be available to be watched later. It'll upload right to YouTube afterwards. And also, if you get into the bidbox.xyz app, you'll actually get mailed a copy of the quiz we're taking. You can take it anytime you want as well. All right, guys, this is a good question because there are a lot of different answers that we're seeing here. The correct bid is three clubs, and it's correct for anyone, but let me tell you why or what it is normally. Three clubs would usually be fourth suit forcing, which is a normal agreement. It's a game forcing bid. It's how we game force when we can't do it right away. However, even if you don't play that, three clubs is still a new suit by responder and hence is forcing anyway. Okay, so it has to be the right bid because it's kind of natural anyway, but it's another way we can game force if we didn't do so initially. Those of you that bid two spades and two no, you made non-forcing bids. Both of those bids could be passed by partner because remember, this is not one of those game forcing auctions. If you were thinking about slowing down to show extra stuff, we're not in a game force, right? So in these auctions, we cannot make a bid that can be passed, right? So three clubs is our best choice, regardless of what system you're playing. You want to make sure a partner doesn't pass by all means, and certainly you want to try to find a spade fit, and that should be partner's next bid if they had three card support. All right. And you can see, by the way, that auction just shows you how much better it is when you do play two over one. When you know you're in a game force, it makes it a lot easier and it puts much less stress on your bidding judgment, right? If you know you're going to belong a game, you will get there for sure. Now partner has opened a diamond and you wake up with this hand here. Okay, guys, when we look at this, we have to remember that hand a little bit ago where we don't want to misrepresent our shape with our bid. And here with this amazing six card club suit, even though we have four spades, it is always correct to bid two clubs. And you get the bonus of it being a game forcing bid. This is that one situation where when partner opens a minor, we can make a game forcing bid when it's two clubs. So one diamond, two clubs is game forcing, which is great. Our hand is very strong. And we'll bid spades later. And now partner will know, hey, they bid clubs before spades, so they clearly are going to have a long suit in clubs and four spades. So don't misrepresent your shape. Be careful with that. The last time we saw it, we want to bid our five card spade suit before our four card club suit, but here, when we're 6-4 especially, always bid two clubs, and you're going to have plenty of time to talk about the rest of your hand afterwards. All right, let's go to the next one. And you guys, if I'm going too quickly or you have any questions, don't forget you can type that right into the chat and we will get to the questions or slow down if we need to. On this hand, we have switched seats. And now we're going to get a good peek at 2/1 from the other side of the table, the opener's side. So on this hand, we have opened one spade and our partner has bid two clubs. And it's our call. And the one thing I want you to remember when you're the opener and partner makes a 2/1 bid, the easiest way to think about your response is make the bid that shows your shape the best. All right, that's going to be the more important thing. We know we both have strong hands. We really want to dial in the shapes of those hands because we're going to be able to find some interesting fits sometimes, especially minor suit fits in some of these situations where if we're not in a game forcing spot, we can't really do well with. So remember, most descriptive bid you can as the opening bidder on their rebid. So we can see how easy this system is. Everybody gets this right. We're just going to bid three clubs, right? We have a four card suit. We're showing the shape the best we can. We had five spades. Now we're showing, at least three clubs, but usually four plus. And partner knows more about our hand and more about our shape. And after we bid three clubs, our partner bids three spades. Your call again. Okay, everybody bid four spades, but the best bid is four clubs. And I want to tell you why. Partner has shown extra values. And this is the first time we're seeing it from the other side of the table. So a lot of you might not have recognized that three spades is a stronger bid than four spades, right? They took the slow approach to game. They've already game forced with two clubs, so when they go about it this way, they're saying, hey, I have some extra stuff. And our hand is not a minimum by any means. In fact, the the partner bidding two clubs was huge for our hand. That's our one of our best suits, and we have diamond shortness, and clearly we have a spade fit. So here we should be interested. Just because we're deciding to bid four clubs, which will be our control bid here, it doesn't mean we're committing ourselves to slam at all. We're just showing partner that we are also above our minimum, right? We heard that they have more stuff and we're interested in exploring slam. If we had a bare minimum, if we were more balanced here and our clubs weren't so good, we would bid four spades. And that's how we kind of talk about where we want to be next, right? Because with a hand like this, when partner shows extra stuff, Don't be afraid to kind of get in there with another bid other than four spades. That'll be the weakest one you have, right? When you just return to four spades. Let's take a look at another one. So this is the exact same hand. And instead of three spades, partner jumped to four spades. And I'll let you make your bid again. So now partner has made the fast approach to game, which makes it a clear pass for us, right? They have now shown a minimum, and even though we do have extra stuff, the fact that partner went about it this way, jumped all over the 3 and 4 level to get the game, means they really probably have a bare minimum game forcing hand. Good luck. All right, let's take a look at another one. Now we've opened a spade, and our partner has responded to diamonds. It's your call. And once again, people, if you're just joining us on YouTube, if you go to bidbox.xyz in another tab or on your phone or tablet, you will see the screen you're looking at now, and you'll be able to bid along with us as we go through this 2 over 1 lesson. All right, and our call here should be clear if we're thinking about just showing our shape the best way possible. We're just going to bid three clubs, right? We have five spades, we have four clubs. That's all we want to show our partner. The bid that makes the most sense is the right one. An easy system, easy system. All right, and after three clubs, our partner bids three spades. So we open a spade, partner bid two diamonds, we bid three clubs, and our partner bid three spades. Your call. This is a good question. We have lots of different answers. Only one correct one, though. And the correct choice was four spades. So I'm happy to see some of you, trying to make some control bids, but remember that we also have to look at our hand. Our partner showed extra stuff for sure. Our hand is terrible, right? It might have gotten a little better when partner bid two diamonds, but we're at the bare minimum. We should not be interested in slam, especially considering we have an 8 card spade fit and our spades are really terrible, right? So we want to communicate a minimum. We cannot do that by passing, though. Some of you were passers on this hand and you forgot you were playing. 2 over 1 is game forcing. So as soon as partner makes that two diamond bid, we cannot pass below game. But you can show a minimum by simply bidding the game as quick as you can. So the moment you find your fit, you bid four spades, and now partner knows you have this pile of garbage in your hand. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Here we go. This time partner opens a spade, and we have this hand. So when a spade passed to you, your call. So I could only fool a few of you this time. This is once again Jacoby 2 no trump, guys, or whatever your forcing major suit raise would be. Remember, we're not going to go through 2 over 1 when we have 4 card support for partners major, right? We're going to make our forcing major suit raise. Always, always, always. So this is how we know when we go through 2 over 1 and then raise partners major, we're showing only 3 card support, right? Because we know all of our 4 card supporting hands will go through 2 no. So don't get 2 over 1 on the brain too much. There are times where you might not make a game forcing bid with a really good hand, or there are these hands where you have a different forcing raise that you can make. Always do the 4 card major suit raise that you have available. Next. All right, so we've opened a spade, and our partners responded 2 clubs. Your call as the opening bidder. 1 spade, 2 clubs to you. So Dottie gives us a good question. What happens when, as responder, you don't have a 4 card minor? And the best answer is if you do not have a 4 card minor and you have 4 cards in the heart suit, you would bid your 3 card minor, right? That's kind of the only hand that is ever a problem, right? So when it goes to spade, and let's say you have 3 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 3 clubs, you kind of have to lie a little bit. So you just bid 2 clubs. However, most of the time, almost always, when you do not have a 4 card major, you either have, sorry, a 4 card minor, you either have a major to bid normally or you have 4 card support for partners major. So it's usually not a problem, but it can be in that one particular spot when partner opens a spade and you have 4 hearts and then 3 of every other suit. I hope that answered your question. All right, this time we're going to make the bid. Once again, when we're responding to partners 2 over 1 bid, we want to make the bid that shows our shape the best. We don't want to go jumping off. And remember, that 2 club bid showed clubs. Partner could be void in spades. So some of you wanted to bid game, but you might be playing 5 opposite 0, right? So in these spots, just make the bid that makes the most sense at the lowest level. Because here, we're a pretty fair minimum, right? We have a 13 count. We know we're not going to get too excited, but we don't know what partner has, right? So this 2 club bid is 13 or more points. If partner has 20 points, they might need a little bit of time to discuss where we belong on hands like this. So just make the bid that makes the most sense at the lowest level. Now, this time, we're not going to go jumping to 3-0 with a bad hand, okay? That this isn't where we're going to show a maximum or a minimum. We're going to bid at the lowest level just in case partner has more stuff to say. All right, and you'll see another option or another hand like this in a few problems here. But let's jump to the next one. After we bid 2-0, our partner bids 3 spades, and it's our bid. Okay, the only correct bid here is the direct bid of 4 spades. Partner did show some extra stuff when they bid only 3 spades, but again, we're a bare minimum. We don't have anything more than we told our partner, and don't forget, just because we're choosing to bid 4 spades doesn't mean that's where it's going to end. If partner has a very strong hand, it's their job to continue, okay? And they may very well do so, but all you can do is show the values in your hand. And when you're at the minimum level, you just bid four spades and you see what happens next. I had one passer again. Remember, 2/1, game forcing. So that two club bid means that neither of you can pass below game. So just think, if you're ever thinking of passing, playing 2/1, ask yourself, did partner game force? And if they did, never pass until you're at least game. All right. And if you go down, hey, maybe partner was a little light, but make that agreement. Never pass below game because who knows how big partner's hand is in these spots. Okay, next choice. We have opened a heart now, and our partner has responded two clubs. And it's our call. One heart past two clubs, your choice. Good work. This is an easy system. Two spades, clearly the bid that shows our shape the best. That's all I want you guys thinking about here. Make your most descriptive bid. Two spades. I have five hearts. I have four spades. Give it to me, partner. All right. Now your partner has opened one heart and you're back in the responder seat. So it is your call. Partner opened a heart. Do your worst. Okay, folks, we have one person getting this correct with a one spade bid. We got 2/1 on the brain here. So what we want to make sure we remember is we don't distort our shape, right? Even if it's a 2/1 situation. So in this spot, if you had five diamonds, it would be okay. Bidding two diamonds makes sense. But when you just kind of have a balanced hand that includes four spades, show that four card spade suit first. All right. The ones we saw earlier, the shapes were much different, right? One time we had four spades and six clubs, right? We're clearly going to bid clubs first. And here with a five card diamond suit in the same values, you would probably bid two diamonds first as well. But when you're flat like this, two four card suits, bid the one spade, get that four card major out there as soon as possible, and then we'll see what we're doing next. All right, we do not have to game force every time, and you certainly don't want to do it if it's going to distort the shape of your hand. And if you think about it a little further down in this auction, if we decided to bid diamonds and then came back to spades, the partner's going to assume we have longer diamonds than we actually have, right? So you just want to make sure you're trying to make the most descriptive bid, and when you're 4-4 like this, just bid your four card major like you usually would. And after you do that, partner rebids one no, and it's your call. And once again, for those of you watching on YouTube that aren't on Bidbox, you can go to bidbox.xyz in your browser and you can bid these hands right along with us during the live class. All All right, so our correct choice here is three no trump. All right, we didn't get to make our game forcing bid right away, which is fine. We know where that best game is now. And for those of you that bid 2 no, you invited to game. And with a solid 13, you certainly have enough to bid it directly, so you should. And for those of you that bid two diamonds, it's good because you did make a forcing bid. It's a new suit. However, it's going to show probably more shape than you have and would usually say, hey, I had five spades and four diamonds and I'm looking for a spade fit, right? Don't give the opponents any extra information at these points. We know that partner's balanced with an opening hand, and we have 13, and we're balanced as well. Bidding 3 no is going to give them just slightly less information to get their leads right. Okay, so when you know where you belong, there's no reason to kind of mess around and do anything differently. And also, uh, speaking from experience, when you mess around sometimes, partner might pass or do something weird that you can't handle. So if you know where you belong, it's your job to get the partnership there. So just bid 3 no with this hand. All right, now partner opens a heart, and it's our call. Okay, we're going to make our game forcing two club bid. 13 plus points, and we certainly have clubs. We're just going to make this a natural game forcing bid. Uh, Almost everybody got this right. One no trump would be 6 to 12, and we're going to cover that topic in the next lesson on Saturday morning. But in this spot, we clearly have enough to game force. We're not sure where that game's going to be yet, right? But we get the information across that we're playing game immediately, and we make the most natural bid we can. And now our partner bids two diamonds, and it's back to us. So make your bid with this hand. Partner opened a heart, you bid two clubs. They bid two diamonds, and it's back to you. Okay, the good thing is that every bid we make is still forcing, right? Unless we bid a game. And the correct bid here is 2 no. And we touched on this a few slides ago, but I want to talk about it again here in more detail. In this spot, we do not want to be showing our minimum or maximum with our 2 no, 3 no bid, right? We do have a minimum. We've game forced, we have 13, but partners bid two suits, and in these spots, partner might need a little bit more time to describe what's going on in their hand, right? They could just have a normal 3 no bid after we bid 2 no, but they might also just be too suited and need a little bit of time to discuss. So when we haven't discovered a fit, we don't necessarily, in fact, we usually don't want to be, jumping to random games that we're not sure are perfect yet, right? So we just bid 2 no to kind of communicate to partner, I have a game forcing hand, and based on this auction, I have clubs and I have the ability to play no trump. I'm probably balanced, and seems like I have a spade stopper, which is all true, right? So we're just making a descriptive bid so we can see what our partner does next. And as you can see, after our 2 no trump bid, partner bids three hearts, and it's back to us. And remember, this is such a natural system that if you think you know what a bid means or it looks familiar, it means exactly what you think it does, right? So don't confuse the system. It's really simple at its most basic level. We get to game force and then we talk, right? So at this point, partner has said something else about their hand, and it's our choice. Okay, the best bid here, four hearts for sure. Partner has shown a six card heart suit at least, which means they probably have pretty reasonable diamonds as well. They didn't bid their hearts again right away. They bid diamonds and they came back to three hearts. So the reason we know this has to be six hearts is because of our bids, right? We never showed support for hearts, right? We bid two clubs and then we bid two no, which denied three card heart support. We would have shown it right away if we had it. So this three heart bid is always, hey, guess what? I definitely had a diamond suit, but I have six hearts, which gets you to the correct game here. If you bid three no on the previous choice, now partner would kind of be guessing at what's right. They would probably bid four hearts anyway with a super distributional hand, but now they're doing so without the knowledge of whether you have, two card support. Here, when we give our partner some room to talk about their hand, we get the best of all worlds and we get to play four hearts on a hand where partner has lots of shape, it looks like. All right, next hand. Our partner opened a heart, and this is our hand. Make your call. Okay, we have lot of a lot of different options here from a lot of you. The two club bid is going to be your best bid. Let's take a look at some of the choices that aren't the best. Four hearts may get you to the perfect contract. You may only be able to make four hearts on this hand. However, in standard practice, the four heart bid is a weak bid. It's the closeout bid. It says, "Hey, I have enough hearts to play at the four level, and I don't have a very good hand, right? So it shows usually like less than 10 points and five card heart support. Three no trump is actually, it depends on what you play with your partner. Some people play this bid as what's called a balanced choice of games, which means, hey, I have three card heart support, but I'm balanced. However, you are very flat, but your hand is probably slightly on the high end of that range. You have a good 16 here, right? So what's the harm in starting with a game forcing two club bid? We fully intend to support hearts later, and even better, with this tweener hand, this good 16, we get to hear more about our partner's hand, right? Maybe they have 16 or 17 and we belong higher than just game. So starting with two clubs is, and it's the reason we play two over one is game forcing. We get to have a more in-depth discussion before we decide not only on level but also on strain, right? Where we might want to play hearts or no trump or another suit sometimes. So we take our time with these hands. After we bid two clubs, partner rebids their hearts, and now it's our call. So partner started with a heart. We made our two club game forcing bid, and they bid two hearts. All right. Three hearts is the bid we should choose because we want to show support, but we also want to show a little bit extra. And again, this hand isn't amazing, but it's certainly more than just our garden variety 13. We're flat, which is a downside, but we have excellent quick tricks, and we want to show just that little bit extra to make partner's decision a little bit easier, right? So the three heart bid will show extra stuff and the ability to play in hearts. And after we do that, partner raises to four hearts. And my question for you here, does partner have extras or does partner have a minimum? That's your choice here. You don't have to make a bid. You just tell me, our North partner on this auction, do they have extras or do they have a minimum hand? So this has all the makings of a minimum. And it's because not because of the two heart bid. This is sometimes confusing to people. The two heart bid is still unlimited essentially, right? Partner could still have a 20 count, and it's because we're already in a game forcing auction. So we're with good hands, we're certainly going to slow down. The four heart bid is the one that shows a minimum, right? Our three heart bid said, "Hey partner, I have extra stuff. Let's chat if you're interested." And partner said, "I am not interested. I have a minimum hand. If you want to go to slam, it's on you," right? And we would certainly need a much better hand than this one to do that. So after partner bids four hearts, and I'm just going to run through this really quickly, you guys don't have to answer. You're going to pass, right? You've done your job of showing extra values, and partner did not want to cooperate at all. So we just get to play a nice, comfortable four hearts with this hand. All right. Now partner opens a heart, and it's our bid. Interesting deal. I have four answers so far, and all four are different. Lots of input on this here. So, remember back to the if you were here the entire lesson, and if you weren't, you can always look at these notes afterwards. I'll show you right after the lesson. The 2/1 bid is never a jump. So, two spades with this hand would actually show in the modern game a very terrible hand and lots of spades. In old school bridge, it would show a much better hand and lots of spades. So, in any spot here, the strongest bid we can make, if we can't make a game forcing bid, is just the bid at the one level. Right? One spade shows 6+ points, and it says I have four or more spades. Clearly, we have a much better hand and longer spade suit than that. But we start with one spade because that's the only bid we have. Two spades is not a 2/1 game forcing bid because we had to jump to get there. Right? 2/1 will never, ever, ever be a jump. Right? So we start with one spade with this beautiful, nice long spade suit. And we get a nice surprise when partner bids two spades in response. So after our one spade bid, partner raised to two. Your call. Oh, and I'm just seeing something in the chat there. The hand where we had three card spade support, or sorry, three card heart support, and a flat hand, Jacoby Tuno Trump would be with four card support. All right, so we would not be able to ever do Jacoby Tuno Trump without four card support. All right. I like the 4 note trumpet here. I see one other person making this call. It's a little close, but this we have to understand. Some of you bid 3 spades, and I think you were thinking this was a game forcing auction. And you certainly want to show extras if it is, but remember, we did not game force yet. And so 3 spades would be an invitation to play game. We know we have game, and in fact, slam is not terribly unlikely with a hand like this. Partner can have, you know, reasonable cards for you considering they open the bidding, and you have an 11 card spade fit. It looks like, at least at this point. So 4 no trump is pretty reasonable. You just want to find out about partner's key cards. And if they have enough, we'll play slam. And if not, we'll hopefully have enough to make 5 spades. It looks like we'll be okay. Bidding 4 spades is not too bad either, right? But just make sure you get the game. And this shows you kind of the downside to non-game forcing auctions, right? You kind of have to jump to get to the game sometimes or make some decisions or have good agreements where, you can talk about this raise with partner. But without any of those things, making a 4 no trump bid is not unreasonable here. All right, let's take a look. So this is a hand we're a little deeper into the auction, but let me take you through it. We started by opening 1 spade. Our partner responded 2 clubs, and we bid 2 diamonds. And they now bid 2 spades. So it's your call. We opened a spade, partner bid 2 clubs. We bid 2 diamonds, and they bid 2 spades. And this we're gonna take this auction pretty deep. So I want you to think, make a plan here, and also think about what partner has shown you so far. So this is a very good hand to talk about the power of the 2/1 system. The best agreement to have with your partner is this. When you have a major suit fit, and we've just discovered one when partner bid 2 spades. So when we have a major suit fit and we are in a game forcing auction, right? Both of those things are taking place here, and it's amazing that it's only at the 2 level. So we have a hand that's very interesting if partner has the right sorts of cards for us, and we have a lot of time to talk about it. So make this agreement when you play 2/1 and you establish a major suit fit at any level. Any new suit should be a control bid, meaning, hey, we're playing spades, but I have the ability to win the first trick in this suit. And you can see why we're bidding 3 clubs. It's because knowing that we're playing spades, we're going to be trumping the first club that's led, right? So we have first round control in the club suit. And look at how low we are when we're starting this discussion about possibly playing above game. We have lots of bids we can exchange with each other before we even get to game, which may be all we can make. But let's see at the lowest level possible where we can potentially go. So after we do this, when we've established our fit, when we're in a game force and one of us has made a control bid, any new suit now is another control bid. And if we return to the trump suit, we're simply saying, I don't have any controls, I want a bid. Okay? So after 3 clubs, partner bids 3 diamonds. And it's your call. right, three hearts is our best bid here. We want to continue the conversation. We actually got the best response we could hope for from partner. They control bid in a suit we have really good cards in, right? So the three heart bid by us on this hand is just going to say, hey, I also have control in the heart suit. Let's talk some further. And as it turns out, on this particular hand, this was a hand I bid with the robots. This was the deal. And after three hearts, they simply jumped to six spades. And I passed. But if you look at this hand, if we take it back and we spend some more time control bidding, this is not a terrible grand slam to find, considering, if suits are breaking somewhat reasonably, we're going to make 13 tricks. But the power of this type of system is when we're holding hands like this. And if you look at it, our hand has 12 high card points, or sorry, 12 high card points, and North has 17, right? So not necessarily a guaranteed look for slam, but based on the finding of a fit at a low level and finding a very strong hand that we can play game with, we get time to discuss the merits of our hand. And that club suit that partner's holding is amazing because it's so bad, right? When we're void in partner's worst suit, right? It's never a bad thing because that means their high card points are elsewhere. And on this hand, 13 tricks are very real on any normal distribution. So it's a very good slam. So let's take a look at one more, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the evening. Thank you for joining me for this 2/1 lesson. I'm still working with different formats, and Bidbox is still evolving, so I hope you're enjoying that. When you get the email, if you've signed up on the Bidbox app and put your email in, you're going to get a copy of everything we did tonight. And if you have any issues with that or any questions about it, feel free to email me. And I want to know about any issues you have because we're working on that side of it. Make sure it's working properly and you guys are getting access to these lessons forever. And so this time, partner opened a spade, and it's our bid. So this is a problem that if you're new to 2/1, you're going to get wrong frequently, actually, until you stop getting it wrong. This is a hand that is not enough to make a game forcing bid with. You need 13 or more points. So while it might look like a normal two club bid, it is not close when you play 2/1 as game forcing. And that's why after major suit openers, the second part of playing 2/1 is to agree to play this one no trump bid as forcing. And this is a very good first example, and I'm going to cover this in much more detail on Saturday morning. I'm going to have a lesson on the forcing no trump. So if you're around, it'll be posted right on YouTube with the time. I think I said it's 10 a.m., but it's actually on there. Let's take a look. Actually, yes, sorry, 10 a.m. on Saturday. We're going to do the one no trump forcing, and I want to show you if you do go to learnbridge.nyc and you want to get a little bit of the notes and or an online self-directed lesson, you're just going to go to Bidbox, and next to the class you'll see library. When you click on the library button, it will take you right to a 2/1 and one no trump forcing lesson. There are notes you can look at and download. There's some videos, and then we'll run through a bunch of the forcing no trump hands on Saturday morning. Uh, this is the harder part of the system. 2/1, as you saw, if you were new to it, it's relatively simple, right? Once we have these good hands, we're going to be slowing down and speeding up in certain spots, and we're going to get the game reliably way more often and get to slams that we aren't bidding now. However, the more intricate part of this system is when you don't have a game forcing hand, and those are going to come up a lot more often. So on Saturday morning, I'm going to run through a bunch of forcing no trump hands, and hopefully get you guys ready to play this system in the real world. So thank you all for joining me. Again, this video usually posts after a few minutes right on YouTube, so if you want to rewatch it. And after I complete the class, which I am about to do, you should get an email with a copy of what you just went through on the app. So thank you all so much, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Take care.